getting ready to play a game of Wolfpack, the North Atlantic Convoy Struggles, October 1941 to March 1943. This is a game designed by Mike Berticelli, published by GMT Games, which was kind enough to get this to me. I'll put a link to the unboxing in the description down below. And as you can see, not a lot on the board right now as I'm setting it up. I'm going to do the training mission first to try to figure this out. But I've got my submarine here, which is a 7C. Actually, it's a U-boat, 7C. Have my torpedoes in here. I have some gas or steam and electric. Have everything all set up here. Here's the convoy. They're not on the board yet because I need to spot them, and there's my spotting range markers. There is my U-boat. You'll start off on this outer band and work your way around to get an attack angle or enter the attack zone. You have to do that, I think, by turn 11 or 12. You're going to start rolling on 11 on turn 8 to see if you have to enter the attack zone. Man, I need to get some coffee. There's your convoy speed. It's slow, weather good, time of day is night, and then I am on the surface right there. There is the sequence of play. Game is not, well, I like to say it's not overly complex. A lot of rules, a lot of procedures. It gets into detail. I mean, you're going to be tracking torpedoes' movement. You're going to be drawing cards here. There's no dice. All your dice rolling is on these cards themselves. But you're going to be drawing a lot of cards to determine modifiers for your torpedoes and modifiers for attack and the like. So a lot of rules in here for the training scenario. You only read these rules right here, the ones that they have marked off to this in this left column here. So it eliminates some of the more complicated rules or some of the stuff that you really don't need to get into, but still a relatively hefty game, I must say. Anyway, let's get to the gameplay. Well, I finished the training scenario here and did quite well. So how did I do? I ended up getting 17 victory points, which puts me at, you are shaping up to be the next Otto Preminger. So 8, 12, and 16. I got 17, so well on my way. Might have bungled a few things, but, you know, I'm apt to do that. The main rule that I think I was screwing up a little bit was the torpedo reload, because you have like 3. These start off at 3. This one starts off at 1. But in the rules, it says you have 12 torpedoes. So I think I used the right amount. I had some misses. I don't know. Anyway, so this is what I end up sinking in my crosshairs here. I had 3 2s, a 4, a 4, and a 3. This one right here, I had to damage. I had to hit it twice. When you hit it the first time, and when you do damage to something, you put a damage token on it, and you get half its victory points. And then when you sink it, you get the rest. So that one took a little bit of time knocking that one out. The rest were all sunks. Did very well. Now, this is the training, so it doesn't have escorts, it doesn't have anti-submarine warfare, which there are a lot of rules on that, a lot more complexity on that. So, yeah, I don't think my results would have been near this if I'd had somebody chasing me down. The scenario ends at I think 24 turns, or you start rolling at 21 to see if it automatically ends, and I actually rolled a 1 on the card there, so it actually ended at 21. I had some misses. I had a dud. Other than that, I was really pretty efficient on my attacks. Kind of started off, I approached, went around the side, then came in here, and then went right down the middle, knocking out the couple of lead of the convoy, then kind of went down this path here, you know, knocking out that one, and then was on this trajectory to get down to here. The high value ones is this 3 row, and then you got these 2s here, and I was going to try to hit a 1 at the end if I'd have gotten to turn 21. but you have to, if you maneuver, you can turn, and actually this 7C can like turn on a dime. It can maneuver very easily and does its turns as a free movement. However, you're going to run into, if you don't knock them out, you can have a potential for a collision. And so I was trying to avoid that, and so I was trying to stay true to my path here. You can see I have some of my spotting range out there. You can keep track of, just keeping track of what I ran into. The system replicates the convoy movement by moving you. So you're the only thing that moves. You don't move this board or move all these convoy ships. So you have a movement phase and the convoy has a movement phase, and that's all reflected in where the location of your U-boat as you're moving this direction as the convoy is moving up. And you can, again, have potential for collision there. I recommend the training scenario if you haven't played this game. As I said, there's a lot of rules in here. There's a certain amount of complexity and keeping track of a lot of stuff. Since this is primarily a solitaire game, it also can be played with others, cooperatively, all manning your own U-boats. However, really more of a solitaire game, and with that, it's very procedural. There's a lot of different things you have to cover. Again, not having the anti-submarine warfare phase. Where's that at there? The ASW move, search and attack, and not having escorts greatly reduced the complexity of this and made it a lot more digestible. Interesting thing, you're going to be tracking, you're going to be doing your torpedo damage calculation, or TDC or something like that, and you're going to be getting these modifiers. You're going to be drawing these cards here, and it's going to be telling you based on your range and the weather and the time of day, which are all those things that are set up there for the scenario, on whether you're going to get a 0, anywhere from a -1 to a +2. So -1, 0, +1, +2, depending on your range. That will come in for that. That's assigned to that specific torpedo. And so when that torpedo is going into, where did I have for this one? I guess it was this one here. So that when that torpedo does its damage or it attempts to hit, which is at the beginning of the turn, you do that at the beginning of the turn. You do your attack at the end and set up your launching your torpedo, and then you do the actual result at the beginning of the turn. Then you will you'll pull one of these combat cards, and that will tell you your to hit. So like with this is good weather. So I have to roll a 6, and then you're going to pull one of these cards here, and then you're going to have the modifier. What was this here? This was a, there's some duds in here too. So this was a medium ship here. So I get a +1 with my, where's that -1 at that I missed? I thought I had a -1 here. Anyway, lost it. Let's just do this. So I got a -1. +1, so that's going to cancel out. Then you're going to, since I'm shooting at the, coming at straight onto the submarine there, it's a -2. So -3 with a +1 for the medium is a -2. Then you go to the battle deck and you draw, and 3. So I totally miss. That's a miss. So there you have it. If you did a hit, then you're going to pull from this deck and see the type of torpedo. This was a G8, G78, so that would have been a dud. If I'd had that's a steam and this is electric, then that would have been a hit on that. And then if you are lucky enough to get a hit, you draw from this deck here, and this was a medium, so it's sunk. A D stands for damage. You have two damage to get a sunk, and then a S is a sunk. So that's the basics of the game. There's a lot more to it. Again, this is the introductory scenario. So there's adding in the anti-submarine warfare phase adds a lot to this game. Also, when you're attacked, there's really no attacking in here because there's no escorts. But when you're attacked, you got to keep damage control. There's a chance that you get too much CO2. There's a chance that you can get sunk by fire. You can get sunk by flooding or crushing of the vessel. And you're keeping track of all this stuff on your chart here. However, there's not any of that in the training scenario. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is a very interesting game and continues along with my coverage of a lot of these kind of games. I'll put a link to my review of some of my submarine warfare games in the description down below, along with the unboxing of all this. Thanks all. Thanks for watching.